Here's a periodic table from the textbook, and we're going to compare this one to the one that you'll have on all of your exams. Notice we have the groups, the columns, and this periodic table shows both the old-fashioned naming system and the new naming system. So the important group numbers are the numbers 1, 2, 3, and so on, all the way over to group 18. The other ones, the old-fashioned ones, you don't have to worry about those. Periods are the horizontal. So you can see this periodic table lists number 1, number 2, number 3, and so on for the rows of the periodic table. This is color-coded for whether an element is classified as a metal, a nonmetal, or a metalloid. To make things simpler in this class, we're not going to worry about metalloids. The only distinction we're going to make is between metals and nonmetals. And this staircase shows the dividing line between metals and nonmetals. So if you start in the corner, atomic number 5, boron, go down a row and across a column, you'll end up creating this staircase. So if it's not on a certain periodic table, you can put it in, and that separates everything on the left side of that staircase we're going to call a metal, and everything that's on the right side of that staircase we're going to classify as a nonmetal. We can break that down further by looking at these groups. Some groups of the periodic table are going to be called main group elements. And the main groups are the first 2 and the last 6. So main groups are groups 1 and 2, and then groups 13 through 18. So in other words, these 2 and these 6 columns or groups, those are main group elements. If an element is not main group, everything else is called a transition element. Now notice everything that we call a transition element is on the left side of the staircase, which means those are, by definition, metals. So we have all the nonmetals in the main group part of the periodic table. Metals could either be main group or they could be transition, depending on where you find them on the periodic table. Also, you need to remember 4 particular group names. The groups that we're going to require the names of are groups 1 and 2, so the first 2 on the left, and then 17 and 18, the last 2 on the right. Group 1 elements are called alkali metals, and group 2 are called alkaline earth metals. Group 17, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, and so on, those are called the halogens. And group 18, helium, neon, argon, and so on, are called the noble gases. Now there's one exception to this classification system. Notice hydrogen is way over here, first element on the table. Hydrogen is on the left side of the staircase, but hydrogen is classified as a non-metal. So that's another thing you should keep in mind. Group 1 are called the alkali metals. Technically that starts at period number 2. Lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, those are alkali metals. Hydrogen really is a nonmetal, so you can't call it an alkali metal.